Welcome back to NT Coins World, your ultimate source for everything coin-related. Today we're taking a closer look at two Washington quarter dollars, the 1974D and 1980D, both in fine condition. These coins may not be the rarest or most expensive in the Washington quarter series, but they have an interesting history, significant market value in certain conditions, and could be worth much more than you think. So let's dive in. Our first coin today is the 1974D Washington quarter dollar. Produced at the Denver Mint, this coin is one of the many Washington quarters minted during the 1970s. In fine condition, the 1974D is still fairly accessible, but it's worth looking at closely, especially if you're a collector looking for key pieces to add to your collection. The 1974D Washington quarter shows George Washington's profile on the obverse, with the eagle proudly featured on the reverse. While in fine condition, you can see light wear, particularly on the high points, like Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. However, the date and mint mark D remain visible, making the coin still attractive for collectors. Let's talk numbers now. The 1974-D Washington quarter had a hefty mintage of over 500 million coins. With such a high mintage, it's clear that the 1974D is not a rare coin. However, its significance comes from the surviving examples, particularly those in fine and higher grades. 1974 was a pivotal year for the US economy, dealing with the aftershocks of the 1973 oil crisis. Amidst rising inflation and economic instability, the US Mint continued to produce circulating coins, including the Washington quarter. Despite its large mintage, the 1974D is notable for its durability in circulation, meaning many of these coins were worn down over time. Now in fine condition, these coins usually fetch between $6 and $10. While this might not sound like a fortune, the value can increase if the coin is well preserved, or if it shows rare characteristics like minor errors. While the 1974D Washington quarter doesn't have any major known errors, collectors often look for small details that can set a coin apart from the rest. For example, sometimes you'll find a die crack, where a crack forms on the die during the minting process, leading to an extra line or a small defect on the coin. These cracks can sometimes boost the coin's value. Another feature collectors watch out for is any double die errors. Though these are very rare in the 1974D series, if you happen to find one with a double date or letters, its value could spike dramatically, making it much more valuable. The second coin. Now let's turn our attention to the 1980D Washington quarter. Just like the 1974D, this coin was minted in Denver, but we're nearly a decade later in history. By 1980, the US economy was facing high inflation rates, a major energy crisis, and high interest rates, which ultimately impacted the coin market as well. The 1980D Washington quarter shares the same design as its predecessors, with George Washington's portrait on the front and the bald eagle on the reverse. In fine condition, it shows light wear, but like the 1974D, the key features, such as the date and mint mark, are still legible. 1980 marked the end of the 1970s, a tumultuous time for the American economy. The US Mint produced over 500 million 1980-D Washington quarters, a large number, but it's important to note that many of these coins were heavily circulated, meaning there are fewer high-quality examples today. In terms of value, a 1980D in fine condition typically ranges from $5 to $10, making it a fairly affordable coin for most collectors. While this may seem modest, it's important to understand that the market for modern coins like these can fluctuate based on demand, economic conditions, and collector interest. Similar to the 1974D, the 1980D Washington quarter does not have major errors that make it significantly rarer. However, collectors still seek out certain varieties, such as coins with die cracks or the rare occurrence of double dies. For instance, some collectors have found 1980D quarters with double digits in the date or even doubled lettering, which could make a huge difference in value. While these errors are quite rare, they do add a significant premium to the coin's worth. So how do these two quarters compare? Both the 1974D and 1980D Washington quarters are relatively common in circulation, but their value in fine condition is driven largely by collector interest. Neither coin is going to make you rich overnight, but they represent significant moments in American history. What's interesting is that while both have large mint ages, they remain essential pieces of the Washington Quarter series. One thing to keep in mind is that the value of these coins is greatly influenced by the condition. Coins in fine condition can fetch a few dollars each, but if you find one with an error, or in a higher grade like XF, extremely fine, or AU, almost uncirculated, their value will be much higher. To sum it up, the 1974-D and 1980-D Washington quarters in fine condition might not have the highest values in the coin world, but they're still fantastic additions to any collection. These coins tell the story of a turbulent time in US history and reflect the economic conditions of the late 20th century. Whether you're looking to fill gaps in your collection or just appreciate the historical significance of these coins, they're definitely worth keeping an eye on. Thanks for tuning in to NT Coins World. Make sure to subscribe for more coin insights, rare finds, and all things numismatic. Until next time, keep collecting and keep discovering the world of coins.